is to just be real with your students. Let them know about you, let them know what you do outside of class, what your hobbies are and things like that, because oftentimes that helps make a connection and get students to be less scared about asking questions or coming to office hours and things like that. The other one that I feel we've been really successful with is using peer mentors. So especially in those large freshman, sophomore level classes where we have students who took the course maybe a couple of semesters ago. So they've taken it at, in our case, UNT. And so they can help students through problems with homework assignments and things like that because they know what the expectations are. They've been through the class, they've done those assignments, maybe a different version of it, but with the core concepts of it. And sometimes they're more helpful than the TAs and graders because a lot of cases those are graduate students and they took their undergraduate education somewhere else. So they can certainly help, but they don't have that deep knowledge of kind of what's expected in our version of the course to help students along. So we've used those. Usually I have 3 to 4 peer mentors for every one of my freshman, sophomore classes, which are usually 300 or 400 students. So it also gives additional resources to the students where they have office hours and probably more than the TAs and graders and than myself. And so they can give them that special attention, a little bit more. And sometimes the peer mentors, because maybe they have teaching aspirations as well. So they really, cling to it and they'll do special seminars on topics within the subject of the class and things like that. So it gives them an opportunity to sort of shine and try out teaching a little bit without all the overhead and all the stress of getting grades done and those kinds of things.
The first thing I do in my class is whether it's online or even what you call face-to-face. First thing I do a wellness check because of the situation where we are right now. Okay, but it was 2 years ago. It's still there. Wellness check first, and the next one is what's new. What the first 5-10 minutes, people are getting ready and things like that, getting the coffee or whatever. Or in the classroom, some people are always late, entering the class because I lock my door. They'll know that. After 10 minutes, I'm going to lock my door because I don't want you to disturb me in the middle unless you wait outside when I'm changing my thought process. At that point, I'll open the door for you. Okay. So people know that. People try to rush, and most of the compliments I get in all my evaluations are what's new. I bring up the Wall Street Journal on my PowerPoint, and on my projector in face-to-face class. We discuss what are the events for the day, and I try to bring up the if it's after 9 o'clock, then I bring up the stock market on the side. There's a bar on Wall Street. I bring it up and I explain to them what happened, why it's up, why it's down, really quickly. We don't talk politics, any political stuff. I just skip through it. We don't talk anything, no religion, nothing. But if there is a relevant to the class or the topic, then I would say, hey, like say for example, this infrastructure bill or whatever, correct? Which passed, then I would bring it up and I say, look, there are $500 billion for the internet access, okay, for the 5G network in this thing. So let's look at how this is going to change. The 5G is going to change certain things. So now we discuss that because that's relevant to the computer.
So I have a strategy, and possibly it might involve 2 hacks. I like to have students challenge me. And almost make a game of it. I have in the past asked them to bring in a news item of the day, and I would relate it to the lesson of the day. It shows them why they are learning that one particular lesson, but it also makes them go out and figure out what's happening in their world today. And I think that that's important. I've asked them to hack me in front of the class, which means that they have to think about what is going on with the technology, what I'm doing, and get to some of that meta state. But there's a problem with a strategy, is in that it will exclude somebody. Whenever you take on a strategy, what I would suggest, what my bigger strategy is watch for who you're missing with any one strategy and try to figure out how to engage that student.
Well, I'm still learning a lot, so I only have so much I can offer, but I will say I've appreciated an approach I've incorporated in my A+ course. A lot of the labs, I used to have them work independently on, and that was very beneficial in some ways. But what I've found is the engagement with each other actually strengthens their understanding much more than anything I could offer in one individual lab. So I've changed my lab so that there are thinking critically questions that are in our text. There are typically around 20 questions. I say, hey, choose 8 of those and post them in a discussion. And any 8 that you're comfortable with. And then part of the assignment is ensuring that you read and comment on the posts of other students. What I want is engagement. And what I've noticed is the students are very good at following up with each other in terms of asking questions. They might say, hey, I got a different answer for that one. Can you tell me more rationale? And my students have actually wonderfully surprised me in the sense that they engage each other wonderfully in this virtual environment in ways which I could never enrich them on my own. We're a team in this course now. It feels like more so than ever before.